When the Black Plague was killing basically everyone, the king made a royal decree. So peasants in the Middle Ages weren't allowed to get their groove on without the king's approval, which would hopefully keep the population down and keep people from spreading plague-bearing seeds, which is what they thought germs were back then. Presumably to get the go-ahead for tootle-touching, you had to demonstrate your skills to members of the court, and once you got the go-ahead, you got a nice sign on your door. Fornication under consent of the king, or FUCK for short. Letting everyone know that your sexy times have the king's seal of approval. That's not the only supposed origin story for our beloved F-word. Another story goes that adulterers would be forced to wear a sign labeled FUCK, or for unlawful carnal knowledge. Of course, carnal knowledge sounds to me more like the name of a punk band than a legal concept, but I digress. Yet another story insists that FU is an evolved form of pluck you. Supposedly, the French would cut off the middle and index fingers of English archers to keep them from drawing their famous yew bows. When the English defeated the French, they taunted the French by waving around their middle fingers and yelling that they could still pluck you! Or something. So which is it? Did the F-word come from legal sexy times, illegal sexy times, or plucking? None. It's probably not an acronym and it has nothing to do with a yew bow. It's actually tough to say for sure where the F-word came from, as this word was considered so vulgar that people rarely wrote it down, and even the Oxford English Dictionary refused to include it in the earliest editions. From what we can tell, it's likely Germanic, related to words from Dutch, Norwegian, Swedish, and German. While all of these words have additional meanings, such as to cheat, mock, and strike, they all share a basic meaning of to move back and forth. The first usage we have of this in English is from William Dunbar's 1500s poem, A Brash of Wowing, which ends with the beautiful, most poetic line in history, "Ye break my heart, my bony ane." Classic. The F-word may also be related to the term windfucker or fuckwind, which are alternate names for the kestrel, and have nothing to do with this video. I just think that's hysterical. Another curse word that people love to make up bullshit stories for is shit itself. The story I always heard growing up was that boats would be piled really high with poop for some reason, and to warn everyone that this boat is piled really high with poop, they'd label the boat Ship High in Transit, or SHIT. The story I found online is that steamboats used cow pies as fuel, and those boxes of fuel were stamped SHIT or Ship High in Transit. Same shit, different day. Either way, tall shit on tall boats is yet another tall tale. According to the online etymology dictionary, shit actually comes from the Proto-Indo-European root meaning to cut or split. Now I know what you're thinking. What's being split when you shit? It's actually a lot like the term excrement coming from Latin meaning to separate. You're separating the poo from the you, which gets kinda icky if you think about it, so try not to think about it. Actually, let's keep thinking about it. Thomas Crapper was the founder of his own sanitary equipment company. Because the name of his business, Thomas Crapper & Co., was stamped on every toilet tank, people referred to using the porcelain throne as going to the crapper. Crapper became crap, and Thomas Crapper probably regretted ever getting into the poop business. But y'all know where this is going. Say it with me. Thomas Crapper is not the reason we take a crap. Well, I'm sure he was a wonderful plumber. He didn't even invent the toilet, probably. Our best guess is that crap is related to an Anglo-Norman term meaning waste and a Middle French term meaning grime or filth. As for Crapper, his last name is a variant on the name Cropper, derived from the occupation. So in case you were wondering if Crapper got his name because of his impressive pooping abilities, probably not. Ass comes from arse, first came around in the early 1900s. Like cuss and bust, arse lost its R to become the North American ass. It also means donkey. Dam comes from Latin damnum, meaning damage, hurt, harm, loss, injury, or penalty. Hence, the silent N at the end wasn't actually always silent. Jesus H. Christ probably came from the Greek alphabet abbreviation for Jesus. Jesus' middle name, probably not Harold. Bitch comes from an Old English word for female dog, and likely an Old Norse term for female of the dog, or fox, wolf, or occasionally other beasts. It became an insult along the same lines as just calling someone a dog, which shouldn't even be an insult, but whatever. Hell comes from an Old English word meaning netherworld, or a place of torment for the wicked after death. Literally refers to a concealed place, coming from a Proto-Indo-European root meaning to cover or conceal. Anything I missed? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you to everyone for watching. If you liked this video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, and leave nice comments, and send this to your mom. She doesn't get on YouTube. How else is she gonna see this?